Hello everyone. We're going to be doing some tutorials, English language. We're going to be focusing on part of speech, particularly nouns and pronouns. We are going to cover aspects such as, clauses, that objects of the sentence and subject and predicate. But before you can get to that, I think what is best is to focus on the individual parts that make up a sentence. So when you look at the entire sentence now, you don't have to be wondering what this particular part is or stuff like that. So yeah, and a lot of times we kind of forget it. So it's best refresh to have your brain have a refresher about it. So we're going to be focusing on the short story, The Cat Who Thought She Was a Dog and the Dog Who Thought He Was a Cat by Isaac Bashevis Singer. So we're going to be focusing on the first paragraph, just on nouns and pronouns. That's it. So let us begin. So let me just zoom in on this. Very clear. Right. Maybe zoom in a little bit more. Right. Very big. So let's increase that size. Increase that size. So everything that is in yellow is a noun. Everything that is red is a pronoun. And before I go, let's just review what a noun is. So a noun is often called, quote, a naming word. So in primary schools, a noun is used to refer to a person, thing, or quality. And I think it can also be related to an idea. And without it, you really couldn't have language. Just as other parts of speech, you couldn't have language. And you have many different classifications of nouns. Right. So yeah, and we have pronouns. So a pronoun is basically a noun, and you can just see that by noun being in the word, but it acts as a substitution for other nouns. So it acts as a substitute. That's also in mathematics you might say, instead of saying 2, writing 2 in an equation, you might write before you write the equation x equal 2. So instead of writing 2, you just put x. So in that case, x would be pronoun in that analogy. Right. So let us go right into the paragraph. Let's see, write a line. Alright, so once there was a poor peasant, John Skiba by name. Peasant is a noun. It is a common noun because you can find many variations, many of that thing. It's not unique. So there's no reason to capitalize the first letter. And it is dual gender. The reason why this noun is dual gender is because you don't know because they could be mentioning both male and female peasants. And that's how it works in English. You define something as feminine or masculine if it has, female or male sexual reproductive organs or genitalia. But in other languages like French and German, I think, you give feminine and masculine genders to things that don't have those, genitalia or organs or whatever. So we have John Skiba. John Skiba is a noun, but unlike peasant, John Skiba is a proper noun, meaning it is unique. There's just one John Skiba or not many of it. And how we deal with a proper noun, we capitalize the first letter. And also it's masculine because when you further read into the story, you'll find out that he's male. So that it's a masculine noun. So we have the next sentence. He lived with his wife and 3 daughters in a one-room hut with a straw roof far from the village. So here we have he. He is a noun. It's a common noun, and it's a, as you see, because it's red, just like right here, it's a pronoun and it's masculine. And we have wife, his. His is also a is a pronoun because you can see it in red, and it's a what you call a third person personal pronoun. And basically, what that is, I know it sounds very fancy and might sound very weird. So to it basically functions as to refer to a third person or party, not to the speaker or writer of the sentence or the person being addressed. And also just to note, his is in singular form. If it's plural, it would become they. So it refers to a third party. And we have next one, which is wife. Wife is a noun, a common noun and feminine because wife is someone who's female or is usually female. Then we have daughters. Daughters is a noun, it's a common noun, it's plural because we have s, and it's regular because when you make it plural, the the spelling doesn't change. It only becomes s. Something is irregular, for example, when you have the word right here, when you have wife, then you make it plural, then you have wives. You change the spelling right here, F and the E, and it becomes DES. That's a complete change in spelling. So daughters is regular and it's plural. Then we have one room. And I'm not sure if one room and hot, if one room is probably an adjective in this case, but I still have it highlighted, but let's just focus on hot. So hot is a noun, it's a common noun, it's neutered because it's neither male or female. So it's neutered and it's singular. And it's regular because if you were to make it plural, it would only have an S. We have the next one, which is roof. Roof is a noun. It's a common noun. It's concrete because you can touch it. And just to backtrack, hut is also concrete because you can touch it. Daughters is also concrete because you can touch them. Wife and he and or John Skiba and peasant is concrete because you can touch them. But I didn't mention them because they weren't inanimate objects, but like this, concrete noun means you can actually touch it. Village is a noun, it's a common noun, it's neutered, and I'm not sure whether to call it concrete because a village is made up of different things like houses, roads, people, but then unless you have one big massive hammer, you can touch all of them one time. So but at the same time, it isn't an abstract noun, which is an idea which you can't touch. So, based on that logic, village would be a concrete noun. And I'm not sure whether to really class it as neutered because a village is made up of different people, like males and females. So, I'm not sure about that at this moment. And we have house. House is a noun. It's a common noun, it's concrete because you can touch it, and it's neutered because it doesn't have male or female genitalia. It isn't a male or female. Then you have the word bed. Bed is a noun, it's a common noun, it's concrete, and it's neutered. Then we have bench, noun, it's a noun, it's a common noun, it's concrete, and it's neutered. Then we have stove and mirror, and both of those basically are the same thing. They're nouns, they are common, they're concrete, and they're neutered. Remember, common means there's many of it. It's not special or unique or peculiar. It's not an anomaly, nothing like that. There's just many, 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 many. Like when you have sand grains on the beach. There's many of it. There's none of them really special unless one of them are like one of them are like sparkling like a diamond. I don't know, something like that. And we have luxury. We have the next sentence. And mirror was a luxury for a poor peasant. And we already did mirror, so let's go to the new one, luxury. So luxury is a noun, it's a common noun, and I think it's a irregular noun because if you pluralize it, the Y would become IES. I'm not sure about that part exactly. It's also neutered, and it's concrete, because in this case, the mirror being the luxury, you can touch a mirror. So therefore, it touch the mirror. So it's concrete, and also